Hi friends, welcome to tonight's featured reading. What we're doing is we are seeking the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and we're asking for them to come into union in a different way this month for all of y'all who tune into this channel. That's what the intention is. And I've already shuffled and dealt and set the intention for us. And what I want to do is to give each of these energies within us a chance to speak up and give us some real hope and direction this month. So this side is going to be the divine feminine, and this side over here is going to be the divine masculine. So with the divine feminine, with these two cards, now this is from the Sacred Rebel deck, and it's brand new for me. I'm really enjoying it. Absolutely beautiful art. And when I look at this, I'm feeling like the divine feminine is really asking for us to do a deep dive. Myself personally, I've lived single for a few years now, and I have to be everything in my life. I am my own partner in everything. So I feel like I'm definitely out of balance. I feel like my personality can come off very strong. And I feel the divine feminine is asking us to, if you can resonate with that, to take a deep dive into what it means to be feminine in a divine way. And then defend to the end what's worthwhile. You know, I love being able to combine these energies because nobody's asking you to be a wimp. Nobody's asking you to be a doormat in any way. I don't think the divine feminine likes to be screwed around with any more than I do. And so I love that I could be called to do a deep dive into finding a more feminine side of myself, and at the same time I'm not going to have to give up anything that is part of my core. And so thank you for that, divine feminine. And then I've pulled 3 cards for the story underneath. And now let's take a look at the divine masculine, what that side of the equation is. And what we have is listening for truth and against the grain. And so as we do this deep dive into understanding the union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, I think that the divine masculine is asking for us to listen for truth, but in a way that is compassion, that we have a compassionate view, because a lot of what we're going to learn about the union of the divine feminine and masculine is going to feel like it's going against the grain. And so it's going to kind of shake us to our core in a way. But when we can find that balance and we really can step up to be our full potential, real miracles happen. In this underwater scene, we have birds flying, so it's the whole idea of what the power of the union could be when you think about actually a bird being able to thrive underwater, right? So if we have to engage parts of ourselves that we've never engaged before, it may feel like that, right? It might feel like we are actually being swallowed up by an environment that we're not familiar with. And so I love this so far. Sounds like a challenge and an adventure. Ooh, okay, so as I turn these cards to tell the story of what we can do to walk this out in March, we have the Magician, the 10 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. That makes me happy. And then from the Divine Masculine, we have 3 of Wands, King of Cups, and the Star. Okay, for those of you who know the cards well, I know that you have a smile on your face as well as I do, because I really believe when I think about the upcoming month of March that we have a lot to look forward to as we step forward and make an effort to find union between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Over here on the side of the divine feminine, the Magician shows how ready we are. We're ready to approach this month with a balance of our tools. Those of you who have been working with the law of attraction or learning to manifest over time, you know how to use affirmations, you know how to write things down, you know how to do many things. And the divine feminine is really aware of that. but in a way, you've been working too hard, not delegating enough, being the man of the family. Just kidding. But isn't that a part of it when you have to be strong beyond what your nature is? It's hard to know how to express that. And then we have the Nine of Cups, which is the promise of prosperity right around the corner. And this is about our money and career, right? So clearly it shows that the Divine Feminine sees the efforts that you've done, wants to remind you of the tools you already know how to use, and to trust that the seeds of what you've planted are going to be harvested, but you need to season your garden with the divine, with a balance of the divine masculine and feminine, okay? So let's go over and see what the story is coming from the divine masculine. The Three of Wands, which to me is always, it's a kind of a kick in the butt card to me, because the Two of Wands, the choice is there, the action starts, the ball gets rolling, and the Three of Wands, there's been some success. See how the one wand is right behind him here? And he's feeling prosperous, but the ship is out to sea. There's new adventures to be had. He doesn't want to stay stuck in one place, but there's something that's he's just not quite ready to step out. And so when I look, what draws my attention here is this gray bird and the white bird that are in the sky. And it reminds me of a shadow. Okay, it's not dark like this one. That one is totally shadow. But when I look at this, the symbolism of allowing yourself to look for any little shadowy areas in your life that have just been bugging you, right? Maybe habits, maybe things you catch yourself thinking a certain way, and or you get disappointed in yourself, you know, that you feel like there's something you need to learn better before you can step out. And I think that Divine Masculine is saying to us that we really can step out into our future here. The King of Cups, in a way, I look at this figure like turned around and it looks the same. It's like the transition between these two energy streams. The Three of Wands, it's a little hesitant, but has the tools and is wealthy enough to step out in energy to the future, needs to take a look at any shadowy kind of doubts and fears coming from inside. But to achieve the emotional stability of the King of Cups, what a wonderful promise that is from the Divine Masculine. When you are wanting to be or understand your Divine Masculine, and this is true for males and females and all gender types, these are just energy forms. But the idea that you can be strong and still be in control of your emotions. Remember, this is a money reading. So what this is showing is that there's so much, there's a little fear and trepidation to step out in the future, but the King of Cups calls us to be brave and step out into the promise of the prosperity that's coming, Nine of Cups. And then we have the Star, which is a card of healing, all right? And I can't help but think of how the figure underneath here, the figure that's submerged and is completely, doesn't have any clothes on, right? It's a naked figure. And so the idea of getting to the point where you're just stripped of any false expectations or any of your past that just doesn't serve you anymore. The sign of the Star, when I look at the beautiful colors of the two pitchers of water that are coming, she's still in the dark, but the fruit of what's coming from her is full of light. And to me, that just shows that you don't have to be like 100% healed and whole and everything to really step into the next level. That's what your inner being is about. That's what the universe is about, and the helpers that are out there to assist us. Okay, so I want to let me just draw an angel card for us to close this reading, and just as I take a breath. The idea of creating union between the divine feminine and the divine masculine within us is more than an overnight journey. It's going to take a little education. You can Google these readings, and you can find many readers right now are studying this very issue, so you can feed yourself out there. So this is going to be our advice card from the divine masculine, and then we have the divine feminine here. So from the masculine, we have take back your power. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. If you are really moved and touched by this reading, definitely hit the like button, because I'd appreciate that. It'll help share it with other people looking for balance in this area, but also to really anything that's undermined. There's a term called the distorted masculine energy, and so maybe there's just been some injury back then, and this star is going to pull you back into balance. But you can do this. The power is in your hands, heart, and mind. And from the divine feminine, we have angel therapy. Archangel Raphael, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. You know what? You may need an angelic helper. You may have a friend that you guys could go on a little healing journey together. If you'd like to have a private reading, of course I can support you here. But as we approach March with our career and our money, let's make our intention to find balance and peace with the inner masculine and the inner feminine. Take care now. We'll see you soon. Bye.